Governing a state like Lagos is serious business for Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu. Let's now bring you latest activities and highlights of the governor's official engagements in recent times from the office of Mr. Governor. In continuation of his government's effort to deliver quality housing to Lagosians, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently commissioned the Love Gardens apartments at Olorogun Allen Street in Surulere, Lagos. The governor, who commended the Lagos State Development and Property Corporation (LSDPC) for a well job done, noted that the state government has handed over 20 various housing projects under his administration.
I'm particularly excited that just about a week ago, LSDPC celebrated its 50 years anniversary. And whilst the celebration is still hot, they brought us here to come and hand over another of their sites. I think LSDPC, both the staff and management, you deserve another round of applause. You've done grateful 50 years in the service of mankind, and I've challenged you that what you should do is to ensure that that corporation can live another 20 to 30 years, even after all of you have left. I'm particularly also happy that indeed, in less than 3.5 years, we have handed over well over 20 various housing projects, both from LSDPC, from Ministry of Housing, and both with LBIC. Ministry of Housing, like you've heard, in the next couple of weeks, have about 3-4 projects that they want to commission. LSDPC also on their own have about 3 or 4 projects they want to commission. LBIC also came to me and said he has about 5 to 6 projects they want me to commission. He said one person called Mr. Governor. But because it's important for us to hand over these things to our citizens, that's why we will not shy away and will ensure that we go around very quickly and we'll commission this project and we'll hand it over to all of our citizens. And I want to thank them for the good work they're doing. This place used to be a liability that we have turned into an asset. It used to be a massive school compound that was now run down and the students were moved somewhere else. And so this place was now taken over by all sorts of people that were on questionable character. Yes, there were mechanics here, but there was also all sorts of ills and all sorts of criminal things that were also happening because it was being run down. And we had a conversation with Subeb, who were the original owners, and it took no time for them to understand that we can convert the dead assets into a living asset. And I'm happy that Subeb and LSDPC were able to collaborate very, very quickly, and you have seen the edifice that this place has been turned into. And some of you know that, like you've said, housing becomes one of the major challenges that we have in an urbanized city like Lagos. And government cannot do it all by itself. Government can't continue to create the enabling environment for private sector to come in, for private sector to collaborate with government, but more importantly, is for government to create that enabling environment where both the private sector and government can collaborate and we can provide the needed housing for our people. We can reduce the housing stock need for our citizens and we can hand them over.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, recently declared open the 36th edition of the 2022 Lagos International Trade Fair at the Tafawa Balewa Square in Onikan, Lagos. The governor, in his opening speech, described the theme of this year's fair, connecting business, creating value, as very apt, considering the prevailing economic situation in the country. He went further to reel out the economic and business potentials SMEs possess to change the dynamics of development in a commercial cosmopolitan city like Lagos.
I'm particularly excited with the theme that you've chosen for this year, connecting businesses, creating value. I'm sure you know, as shareholders, one of the core objectives is you want to create shareholder value. You want to create value for your customers, you want to create value for your stakeholders, for your shareholders, and for everybody that has everything to do with your business. And so I cannot agree less with the intent and the purpose of this theme. Given the very prevailing harsh economic realities, global uncertainties that we're all facing, and so the important tactics that needs for businesses to thrive, both small and large, for them to be able to connect with others, to acquire and to retain customers, to increase their brand awareness, and to differentiate their place in the marketplace. It is indeed a very, very, very competitive one, and a long one that I know that businesses are facing right now. There's no gainsaying that most of the businesses that are participating at the fair today are small, medium enterprises, which are indeed the bedrock for a sustainable development in our economy and in most global economy. In Nigeria, this sector is the heartbeat of our industry and economic development. Lagos understands and appreciates what the MSMEs bring to the table, what value you create, the amount of wealth that you generate, and the amount of opportunity and job creation that you continue to give to all of our citizens. In achieving the sustainable development goals and in achieving the very huge challenge that we've set for ourselves as a state and as a country. And so as an administration, priority will continue to be given to the business environment, especially to the MSMEs. Of course, when you have an economy that is growing at the rate at which Lagos is growing, population inching closer to 25 million, being the sixth fastest growing economy, not only in Africa, but in a larger part of the world, also contributing a significant part, of the GDP of this of this country. We know that indeed Lagos has a big place for MSMEs and a big place for businesses in our country.
And that's a wrap from the Governor's Office segment on the City of Lagos TV show. The show will continue right after this timeout.